So, I said I would post a video today about making rice. You'll need a good pot, depending on what you like. Some sofrito, I picked it up from Key Foods. Sometimes I have my mom's. My mom makes her own. El jibarito, gandules. Can't go wrong without sazon. And then the cubito en pollo goya. Of course, we're going to need oil for the bottom of the pan of the rice. Trusted friend garlic. Of course, olives. If you like olives, you can use olives, and not don't use them. And then our protein. If you want to add meat, you can. If you don't want to add meat, you don't have to. And then also we have our medium grain rice. You can use long. Some people they choose different. So this is everything that I'll be using. I'll also use water. I don't measure water. I usually go by consistency. You'll see in the video. So I like to rinse out my beans before I use them. So I'll do this. Add some water. I'll repeat this process for about 4 times till I know that all that little extra gunk of saltiness and all that preservatives that they add in there are gone. Just like my beans dry. So this is how they'll look after you rinse them off. They don't look as... There'll be like some kind of like gunky stuff all over in there. But yeah, looks a little better. So I do that process. Then I take the juice out. The olives, I don't use this juice. Olives are already naturally salty. And I'll be using ham. So I don't want my rice too salty. So I'll be taking all this juice out. So I have water in this pan, as you can see. It's clean. This is from a lot of usage. You know, I cook a lot anyway. But there's water, and we don't want that water. So we're going to heat this up till there's nothing in there until it's dry. So now that this is dry, I'm not going to touch that, obviously, because it's hot. And I will not burn myself. I'm going to pour some oil. I don't measure the oil, to be honest. I just pour enough to where it sort of covers the bottom of my pan. I know I need to be measuring these things. Next time I will do so. But if you know how to cook, you pretty much know what you're doing. So yeah, I want to say about like that much. So we're going to let that warm up just a little bit. And then I'm going to come with the garlic and bam. Watch. Just watch. So at this point, that little bit of grease is already hot. That's 1 spoon. I like garlic, so I'm going to go ahead and put, about 1 more in there. And I'm going to let that garlic cook in there, brown up. It gives a little bit of extra flavor in there. I let it cook till it browns. Oops, a lot of smoke. Okay, there we go. So it's browning, right? So I like a lot of protein in my meat. Well, I said that wrong. In my rice. I'm not going to go back and delete this video because I'm already 3 minutes and 27 seconds devoted in this. So anyway, I'm going to add my protein because I want my protein to cook. Right? So yeah. Let's add that protein. I like meat, so hey, let's just go. Let's just that much is good. However much you like. So then we're gonna cook this until it's cooked pretty much. You see however much you want it to cook. I want mine a little crispy. Have a little bite. And then after this process, we're gonna add the sofrito. So that's coming next. So here goes the sofrito. We're gonna add that in there. Don't be afraid to add sofrito in. Just be generous. I added a spoonful of that. And we're gonna mix that in. I'm gonna add a little bit more though. So while we're doing this process, I'm gonna let the sofrito cook a little bit in there. We're gonna go and put the can of beans in there. And then whole can. This is so hard doing it with one hand. The whole thing of olives. You saw I had no juice in there. We don't want the extra excess juice. We don't want it to be salty. So I mixed it all, letting it just sit there, cooking the sofrito and the garlic with the oil. That's what it'll look like at the beginning. Just let all the juices marinate, let it cook. I'm gonna be adding 4 packets of sazon and 1 packet of chicken goya. So this is what I'm gonna be throwing in there next. So this, slope. So this is how it'll look after you add the powder in. And then I'm gonna go wash about, I'll say about 4 cups of rice. You gotta wash it, rinse it out, and then you throw the rice in there and mix. You'll see the next process. But yeah, if you wash your rice, wash your rice. If you don't, it's okay too. So I added my rice and I mixed it in first before I am going to add my water. So this is about, I want to say, no, I'm not even going to say, I do know how many cups. This is about 10 cups of water. So then the next thing that I'm going to do is add my salt. I don't measure either. I do it to flavor, taste, you know, just throw some salt in there. So at this point, I'm still on high because that's how I was cooking. So if you have electric, I'm going to turn it down to the number 8. And then I'm going to let this cook for about 15 minutes or until the water dissolves and it's almost gone. Whatever you do not keep mixing this rice. Let that rice just simmer. Let all that water evaporate, just disappear. That's it. That's all you do. Do not mix it. Please do not mix at this process. Just let it be. So at this point, all the water has evaporated. Yes, I still have a little bit of, you know, a little water around the edges, simmering and bubbling. That's okay. So now we're going to mix this, you know, mix it up, cover it up with foil, put a lid on it. And then we're going to lower the heat, if you have an electric stove, after you've done mixed this and covered it up, down to 3. So I'm going to mix it, cover it up, and I'll show you what it looks like after I mix it and cover it up. I, see, mixed it. Still a little bit of water around the border, so that's okay, because this piece of foil that I'm going to put on it will soak up that water, and then the water will drip right off inside, you know, causing it to like sort of slow boil in between. Alright, so since a lot of rice, I had to use foil. You don't have to use foil all the time. Okay, make sure, you know, secure all the foil. Alright, then we're going to lower it to 3 because it's an electric stove. So we're going to let this rice cook for about, I want to say 30 to 35 minutes. You know, just let it sit. Do not mix it. Let it be. I've only mixed this rice, we'll say about 3 times. And it was only once, just for me to put that on. Please don't mix it, because you will mess up your rice. That is the biggest pet peeve of a Puerto Rican. Do not mix. Okay, so we're going to uncover the rice after it's done cooked. So I will say, I let the rice cook a little longer than 35 minutes because it was a lot. So once it's done, go ahead and mix it. You can tell it's done. See, the grains have absorbed. They got their fullness and they're cooked now. I'm gonna plate this just to make it look pretty. But yeah, this is the ending result. Cooked it for about 45 minutes, and if it's not done and it's still a little crunchy, mix it. Always keep a little bit of water on the side and just throw a little bit more water in there. You know, I like to go circular like this, go around with the water as it pours, and I try to hit that middle just a little bit more. But this rice is done. It's not crunchy. You could tell it's cooked. It's very good in texture. Yeah. Well, I hope you guys follow the recipe, and I hope you enjoy it. And it was definitely a good way to start 4th of July, and I hope you guys are enjoying your holiday. There you have it. Enjoy.